Ladies and gentlemen, the prepared speech contest may start. Contestant number one, Krishna Foskey. Brave heart, kind love. Brave heart, kind of love. Krishna Foskey.
What was your dream when you were a small kid? What was your ambition to become when you were small? Mine was to become a teacher. One day when I was returning from market, I crouched next to this street kid, hoping that he would show me the picture he was drawing. But as soon as he saw me approaching, he hid away the paper. A quick game and a chocolate. Later, he stretched his crumpled piece of paper. Any guesses on what he would have drawn on it? It was a street vendor, and that was his dream to become. Dear contest chair, respected judges, panel of judges, and members of the House, October 10th is World Homeless Day. There are hundreds of young, anonymous, innocent, abolished kids who are living by the pavements, unprotected from abuse, hunger, sickness, and drastic climatic changes. Now the climate is so cold. My hands are cold. What about these children? They don't have a home to go. Have you ever imagined this world from their eyes, from a street kid's eye? This world is so small for them and unaware about many things around. In simple words, their world is so small, my dear friends. Sri Lanka Journal for Child Health states that there are 100 million street children around the world, and 20% of them are from South Asia. And Sri Lanka got around 15,000 street children. Ceylon Medical Journal also states that 2/3 of these children have never enrolled to any of the schools. Their lack of official identifications too. Ladies and gentlemen, having this sort of bitterness in our society, as a community, where are we heading towards? As we all know, there are plenty of measures taken by the central government as well as private charitable organizations. But as an individual, what have we done and what can we do? The usual solution given to a street child would be to send him off to an orphanage. But the true fact is that they again come back to the streets. And what is the main factor for these children to sustain on the street? My dear friends, it is unawareness of the bigger picture. All successful people around the world have one thing in common, and that is they have a parent, grandparent, at least a teacher or a family person to inspire them, to make them awareness and guide them in the right path. Same way, these street children should have access to you or me to unlock their potential. We should identify their wills and interests to take them into the right track. We should also start celebrating their resilience, strength, and capabilities. We should find appropriate solutions to uplift their lives. There's a famous TV serial called Samana Tatu. There was a family connected to street, and the child in that family wants to become like his father. His father himself is a homeless person. For their livelihood, they go door to door to entertain people and earn money. And this small child wants to become like his father. What does this imply, my dear friends? They don't have a big school. They are unaware about other professions. To break this cycle, we should take children from different backgrounds and see their attitude towards their education. Because education is the key factor for so many things. Today we are here in this platform because we were guided right. Getting back to the child who drew a street vendor has his dream to become. If you or me that show him the bigger picture, he would have drawn an astronomer or scientist. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's clear that you and me have a heart towards this children. But my whole point is, but I'm speaking about life-changing, head over heels, stand up and fight for them like Braveheart kind of love. Over to you.
We will now maintain a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Timekeepers, please indicate once their time has elapsed. Thank you, Dale, for this. Contestant number 2, you may check the microphone. Test 1, test 2, test 3.
Can we get some feedback from the judges if the performance of the mic was adequate?
Test 1, test 2. Yes. Test 1, test 2, test 3.
Chief Judge, we want to inquire if the feedback from the mic is adequate. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the contestant number 2, Nishant Vital. You and I. You and I, Nishant Vital. Come on, man, come on! Get on! Or you can catch the next bus. Mr. Ladies and gentlemen, how will I get on this bus? It was fully crowded. People were shouting, swaying, and some of them were screaming while hanging on that. Oh my God! It was really late! Really late! I looked at inside the bus. It was packed as tightly as my mom prepared for me when I was in grade 1. Full of sandwiches. I went through a bunch of aunties, and one of them ate me with her umbrella. I was reluctant to be allowed. I didn't want to walk in the middle of the bus. But the conductor got in line behind me and kept shouting his lungs out. He used my swimming skills that walking towards the middle of the bus. That's how I improved my swimming skills because that was my morning workout. On one particular day, I had to get on outmost doorstep. There was a little man hanging on with me on the same doorstep. But he couldn't withstand the pressure was coming out from the crowd inside the bus. So hard. At that moment, ladies and gentlemen, I told myself, If that little man was me, what would it have been like? From that day onwards, I would always look at the crowd and help people in need inside the bus. Few years later, I got my driving license. Very first day of my driving lessons, I ended up driving my car at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour. The speed was 80 kilometers per hour. My instructor impressed and he said, no. But however, he directed me to the real vehicle in the real world. First training of the first day. Turned out to be cuter. He brought two pillows from home to use when she was driving. Lucky for me, she and I had driving practices on the same day. She sat on the driving seat underneath the two pillows and took the keys with her right hand. He turned his right hand smoothly to start the engine. The engine tried to spark and failed 2 times because she forgot to change the gear to neutral. That was all of us. That was scary. Her eyes were covered with the darkness of humility. I exploded with laughter at this silly mistake. If that struggling girl was me, what would I feel in that moment? So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, in our lives, we meet a lot of people from different backgrounds, different educational levels, different cultures. But we have to teach them what we know. If we can understand what they cannot, please try to give that knowledge you have. If you can manage people like this, that will be the most important thing in the world. If you want to change the world, try to be a better man by putting the same shoes of people need in your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep this thing in your mind. If you want to make people right or make people friendly, put the same shoes of that people and try to align with their lives. That is the most important thing. When I was driving, I'm not a driver. When I was traveling, I'm not a student. I'm a gardener. When I'm driving, I'm a driver. When I was sleeping, I'm a sleeping person. I'm not an engineer. I'm not an university student. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep this in your mind. Try to be a better person by putting in the same shoes of the people you meet in your life. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's try this from now onwards. I am the speaker now. This is my audience. If they speak towards you, what would you feel in this very special moment? Ladies and gentlemen, here is the answer. I'm very happy and amazed.
We will now take 1 minute of silence for the judges to make their verdicts. Next contestant, you may check your mic now.
Test 1, test 2, test 3.
Chief Judge, are you moved your okay with mic for this particular contest? Okay, we are ready to continue.
Ladies and gentlemen, the contestant number 3, Madhushika Lucy, the clouds rain. The clouds rain, Madhushika Lucy.
Once upon a time, there was a girl with a secret. The secret of happiness, which made her and everyone around her happy. Do you want to know the secret? Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, the secret is in this book. When I was in grade 8, my mom gifted me this book with a bright orange color cover. I read through a few pages, and within a few minutes, I fell in love with this. I read this over and over again till the pages got worn and torn. In page 50, I found the secret of happiness. Polygamous said, there's something or everything that you can be glad about. Slowly but surely, I started practicing the secret of happiness. And looked for something to be glad about in everything. A silver lining, even in the darkest cloud. Days turned into weeks, weeks turned into months, months turned into years. I was thriving. Every time I fell one step, I climbed 2 steps. When I got low marks for maths, I took it as a learning experience, worked harder, and got the best marks for maths in my class. When I couldn't become a prefect of my school, I looked at alternatives, and I could become the president of the quiz club of my school. Slowly but surely, I was stepping towards my dreams. The moments where I cried became lesser and lesser. Everyone nowadays with everlasting smile on my face. My friends call me a happy bird. Slowly but surely, I was becoming a living proof of Pollyanna. In the year 2018, I achieved my biggest dream of life. I entered the University of Malta to study engineering. Everything turned out to be perfect. But that's when things started to go wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, I can handle failures. 1, 2, even 3 at once. But this time, it was not 3, not 4, not 5. I've been facing failures one after the other. For the first time in my life, I failed an exam. Not just low marks, I failed. Not an ordinary exam, a simmer case study, wasting nearly 100,000 rupees of my parents' money. And then the first semester exams of university. I repeated mathematics. My GPA went down the drain. But I had the courage, worked hard over the second semester. Oh no, fluid mechanics, another repeat. Okay, Kenosha, academics is not life. But my 2 years long relationship ended as well. I felt like I was stepping away from my dreams one after the other. But I had not forgotten the secret of happiness. I kept looking for that one thing that I can be glad about. And kept looking for a silver lining even in the darkest cloud. I kept looking till I got tired. I kept looking till my vision got blurred. I kept looking slowly but surely. My past man was turning into the shadow of itself. One evening, I was alone in my room. I felt the darkness was covering up my world. I went to the balcony, looked at the sky, and tried as hard as I could to find a spot of light through the darkness. That's when I noticed the clouds in the sky. They were getting darker and darker. The thin silver lining was becoming more and more blurred. And then it just started to rain. The clouds were releasing all the heaviness they carried. After the rain, the sky was bright again. That's when I realized where it all went wrong. In a search for happiness, in every moment, I had lost the illusion that I can never be sad. I had forgotten even the clouds rain when they are too heavy. So the day rain, I took a break from finding something to be glad about. For a moment, I let all my worries and sorrows take over my mind. One by one, I washed them away with tears. And then I was smiling again, but this time it was not big. My fellow seekers of happiness, have you ever had a moment in your life you feel disappointed about yourself? Or that you lost something you dreamt of? But at the same time, you feel bad to feel sad. At those moments, it's okay to cry, and then you'll glow much brighter. The heaviness in your heart is gone. Remember, the clouds rain when they are too heavy. Just like that. It's okay to forget the silver lining for a moment and be the cloud that rains. On to you.
For the judges, mark their lives. Contestant number 4, you may check your mark now.
Test 1, test 2, test 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4, Dialogue Nisarg. Does it really matters? Does it really matters? Dialogue Nisarg.
Have you ever Googled yourself? Well, I have. Do you know what came up when I searched for the name Jayoda? The first search results were Jayoda lottery results and Jayoda street winning numbers. Contest share, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, I share my name with the lottery. And no, it's not flattering. While most of the people with unusual names get the question, were you named by Mr. Isaac? The question I get is your father the director of the lottery's board? I wish, but no. When they're not satisfied with the answer they ask, then why were you named after lottery? I wasn't. The lottery was named after me. I came first. The lottery came 6 years after I was born and named. Let me explain it to you. It all started 16 years ago when I was a cute little 6-year-old. I lived a happy and peaceful life until I started seeing these advertisements introducing the new lottery which had the same name as me. You might think that I was excited to see my name on TV. I wasn't. Constantly seeing and hearing my name annoyed me. You would get it if your name was something like Once a Dicky Mark. For those of you who find this funny, let me tell you why it wasn't funny for the 6-year-old little girl. I didn't want to go out or talk to people because whenever I told someone my name, they would do a double take, laugh and ask, Saroda, like the lottery, is your sister Shanida? As if everything about me was some kind of a joke. I was being made fun of every day. I was called speed ticket, lottery number, child number, and it didn't stop there. Since my name is Jayoda, my friends were called Gogi Setta, Mahachan Sankar, Vasana, and so on. I was constantly asked, hey Jayoda, how much is the jackpot today? What are the winning numbers this week? If I knew the winning numbers, I'd be a millionaire, and I didn't have answers to the questions. I got so tired of this verbal abuse that I decided to stop using my first name altogether. Like most of you, I hated my second name as well. But I had no choice. I had to pick the less embarrassing name. So I started telling my second name to people when introducing myself. I wrote my second name on my numbers, and I asked my friends to call me by my second name. I remember this one incident vividly where I tried to establish my second name instead of my first name. It was the annual New Year party of our village, knowing full well that I would be the subject of notorious jokes and laughs of my neighbor kids. I specifically asked the girl who was comparing, Aki, please don't say the name Jayoda when announcing names, okay? Say my second name instead. Otherwise, the boys are going to laugh at me. And she immediately grabbed the mic, turned it on, and said, attention everyone, I little Jayoda here is requesting all of you not to call her by the name Jayoda. Thank you. Not only the boys, everybody laughed. While I was overthinking about my overly famous first name and how unfortunate my life is, the people at the lottery sport were very creative with their TV commercials. They did a great job with catchy songs and taglines such as Jayoda, over to Messiah, Jayoda, the victory that is yours. And the talks got a whole lot worse, and I couldn't stand it anymore. So I went to the person who gave me the name, my mother. Mom, can we change our names when we are older? You can, darling, but why? You have a beautiful name. No, Mom, why did a smile on her face. I said, "Sweetheart, your name has a great meaning. It means the dawn of victory. We gave you that name because we wanted to be a winner, a champion, an outstanding person one day. Besides, why do you care about what others say? They don't know you and they don't know the meaning behind your name. Just think about it. Does it really matter? Mom knows best. Her words got me thinking. Does it really matter? People are going to make fun of you, say things to you, and judge you at some point in your life. It might be over something you can change, like your name, or something you cannot change, like your voice, your skin color, your height, even your orientation. Instead of changing my name or taking any other stupid decisions, I took a moment and asked myself, does it really matter? My parents, people who mattered the most to me, gave me a name with a beautiful name. And why would I change it just to avoid the words of people who don't matter to me at all? I realized what really matters are the words of those who matter to you, not anything else. Even today, people laugh when they hear my name for the first time. The difference is, now I laugh with them. Because, let's face it, it is kind of funny. And what's wrong with making it funny? Making people laugh is one of the greatest things someone can do. And I can do it just by saying my name. I love my name now. It's unique, and I've never met anyone else with the same name till today. People hardly forget it. And if they do, I tell them, it's Jagda. Remember the lottery? It's the same name. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time someone says something that makes you doubt yourself, take a moment and ask yourself, does it really matter? Over to you.
We will now maintain a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 5, you may check your mind now.
Testing one, two, three.
Contestant number 5, Dean Disana, unheard melody. Unheard melody, Dean Disana.
Look at me, look at me. Look at me, look at me. No, no, don't look over there. Look at me. Are you looking at me? Honorable panel of judges, Congressman, ladies and gentlemen. This was exactly what I heard at the beginning of an English period back when I was doing my A-levels. All of us were supposed to prepare a speech, write it nicely on paper, and recite it in front of the class. The teacher was generous enough to let us recite the speech looking at the hard copy. She used to collect all those pages in a big file, which she used to bring to the class every day. But the student who was supposed to give the speech that day went with that really fake and funny accent, depicting that she was totally making fun of the
Then she used to laugh here and there throughout the speech. I felt disappointed. It must be a burden to give a speech, but no one should have made fun out of it. I think the whole class agreed with me because no one supported her or laughed. The teacher was patiently waiting till the speech was over, and then she slowly went near her and very politely said, "Thank you." Then she grabbed her big file and took one sheet out of it and started reading it. It was a poem written by Amy Campbell. I was alive. I could feel. I could love. I lived. My home was dark, warm, and nurturing. I could hear your voice, feel your pain, touch you in your being. Through an act of what I thought was love, you concealed me. And then the poem went on describing how you wanted to say, "Mommy, it's all right. I love you," because it knew that its mother was going through all the hardships because of it. And then the nightmare, when cold steel intruded its home and started ripping it apart. I cried out to you, Mommy. I needed your help, but you didn't answer. I never thought you would let them hurt me, Mommy. I only wanted to love you. If you had given me one chance, Mommy, if I had raised you, I was blank. It could touch each and every girl's heart and make it beat a bit slower. It was life, but it didn't have a right to live. It couldn't speak or tell itself. It was just an unheard melody. The teacher gave us a great example. Rather than making fun out of the opportunity we were given to speak in front of the class, she took up her opportunity to speak for someone who was unheard. She gave a voice to that unheard melody. She then said, "This is what I hoped as a speech from you, Reba." That little bee couldn't even open its eyes to see the outside world rather than its mother's tummy. But did you know that there are millions of children currently being sealed as sex slaves? Some of them are just being born for that reason only. No birth certificates, no records, nothing at all. Children have rights, but today they are just a bunch of unheard melodies. I can remember going through Malala Yousafzai's life. She has said at one point in her life she had to decide whether to stay quiet of Pakistani girls getting banned from education or speaking herself out and making a change. She received an opportunity and she never let it waste. She gave a voice to that unheard melody and gave another chance to all the girls in Pakistan to go to school. This is what the fortunate people of the world can do. We can be the voice to the unheard. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, never waste an opportunity you receive to speak up, because your voice could create awareness, and that will be a route for a betterment in someone else's life. Giving a voice to an unheard melody may be the greatest favor you and me can do to the world. Over to you.
We now may take a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their Contestant number 6, you may take the microphone.
Take one, take two, take three.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 6, Lulpi Fonseca. No signal. No signal, Lulpi Fonseca.
Hello, Mama. We are about to leave you. Stay safe, darling. Keep me updated. Fine. Hello, Mama. We are in Kabul now. Okay, darling. Stay safe. Keep me updated. Hello, Mama. Are you right? Amma? Hello? Amma? Dear contestant, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in such a situation where you feel helpless because you don't have signal in your phone? That was me 2 years ago on a field visit to Syria. It all started back on the day when I started packing for my field visit. Dua, daughter, please keep me updated. That's my mom, who is fair with short hair and is always telling me about 20 updates. No matter where I go, she always wants updates. Even when I have my lunch or go to the washroom, she wants updates. I was so used to giving updates to my mother that I never imagined I'd miss it. But at the moment I couldn't update her at Syria, I panicked. I was going here, there, everywhere, trying to find signal, just so that I could update my mother. Until finally I heard my mother's voice. At that moment, I realized how much my mother's voice meant to me. Nothing is forever, so treasure every moment. These words are more important nowadays, where we have everything at our fingertips. But what will you do one day if you lose it? Let me tell you a story. The story about my dad. My dad is tall, dark, and has a very loud voice. Just like me. He had many friends. One of them was a very special friend. She had curves in all the right places. She was from Japan and she loves to wear white. He met her when he was 35, and it was love at first sight. He brought her home and kept her for more than 20 years. Now my mother hated her. She always said that one day that engine will fall down on the road. Then my dad would reply, but honey, the wheels will go on and on forever. It was my father's beloved Dr. Sun Nizam Khan. Over those 20 years, it became dented in the back, scratched on the side, and missing a light or two. Although it was getting rickety and made noises, my father refused to repair it for all those years. Why? Even I'm still wondering about it. He would always say that. It worked for 20 years, you worked for 20 more. And true to his words, it has never failed my dad. But one day, the unthinkable happened. The car stopped in the middle of the road and refused to move. No matter how much we pushed or how many times my father tried to start the engine, remove energy. Eventually, it had to be towed into a garage, and my father was headed down with the ultimatum. To either repair the car fully or to throw it away. At that moment, my father realized how much the car meant to him. His car didn't last forever. Ladies and gentlemen, how many times have you thought that something would last forever or taken things for granted? We easily get annoyed when the buses are late. But when there are bus strikes, we realize how much cheaper and convenient it is to travel in them. You don't realize how tasty your mother's home-cooked meals are until you come to the university and start eating that delicious 35-rupee plate of rice from the canteen. These past few months, even something as simple as seeing a person smile on the road has become rare. When I heard my mother's voice at speaking, I felt relieved. When my father's car broke down, he got another chance to fix it. But life doesn't always give you second chances. Nothing is forever. So, my dear ladies and gentlemen, treasure every moment. Take time to be thankful, because you never know when you lose the signal. Over to you.
We will now maintain a 1 minute of silence for judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. Contestant number 7, you may check your microphone now. Yes, 1. Yes, 2. Yes, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 7, Dinesh Sundarlingam. What path are we really going to take after all? What path are we really going to take after all? Dinesh Sundarlingam.
Food! Water! And the whole stage just for me. So, I have everything I want. So, what shall I ask next? No problem. And what I meant by this problem is our next 5 to 7 phase of our speech. Contestants, my dear fellow participants, have you heard of the experiment called Universe 25? Probably not. It is a strange experiment conducted by a scientist called John B. Calhoun in the late 1950s. He created a mice utopia where there's infinite amount of food, water, and an abandoned area, but with just 4 mice. For those 4 mice, food
given, water given, area totally given. So what do they want next? Yes, their population increased exponentially. They were having a great time there. But with time, a hierarchical system emerged among the population. They started attacking each other. Even the female ones showed aggressive behavior towards the young ones. With time, though they were given with abundant food, cannibalism was also observed. And in the latter part, homosexuality was also observed. From this chaotic situation, a new generation emerged. These new mice doesn't care for the fights. They refuse to eat. They only care for the food and sleep. But with this, the population started to decline. Within just 2 years, the reproduction rate reached zero. And this is how the whole mice kingdom collapsed. But just to make sure of the results, this experiment was repeated not twice, not thrice, but you believe it or not, it was repeated 25 times. Damn. Imagine an ideal world where there's no problem you want. Like whatever you want, food, shelter, clothing, entertainment activities, whatever you name it, it's in your doorstep. Do you really want that? No, your inner self wants something else. Problems to deal with, destructions to talk about, mutiny to feel pity about, ultimately chaos. Maybe here and there in your life. You still don't believe me? In your own life. Do you want a calm, smooth, boring job? No. We always want a challenging, interesting, exciting job. Even take the cinema industry. The movies that bring sadistic and negative thoughts into society, they are the ones which are hitting the box office easily. Even in the sports field, I'm pretty sure Cloud contest is never aired on the TV. Sports like wrestling, boxing, they are the ones which are widely enjoyed by all age groups. Even in the social media, the posts which shows negative attitudes and sadistic thoughts, they are the ones which are being shared and posted about. Personally, my Facebook posts are not even being liked. So, a man is stable when there's a problem to deal with. If there's no any problem, he's going to find new routes to find problem and which will end more catastrophically. Take these as examples. Russia, Germany, Japan, Mahabharata. What do they all have in common? As soon as they reach the peak, the topmost prosperity level, they just destroyed themselves. They just couldn't stay down and live that prosperous era. So, how are you doing? There are two paths in front of you. One, you reach the nice utopia and destroy yourself. The other one, you accept the chaos and live with the problem. Are these the only two paths in front of you? Maybe for the mice, yeah, but aren't we a bit smarter than them? Can't we find an alternative route? Take the great leaders of this nation. Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, have they accepted the problems in their society and live with it? No. They fight against it, race against it, and created a better path towards a brighter future. And that's the path we are all following now. Don't think a single one-man decision is insignificant. You don't need the sun to chase away darkness. A single matchstick is enough. Be the first spark for tomorrow's forest fire. And I would like to bring the very first question. What path are we really going to take? Are we going to be the mice or the ones who learn from the mice? The decision is in your hands. Now we will maintain a minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 7, you may check the microphone.
Test 1, test 2, test 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 8, Anuki Pereira. Silly choices. Silly choices. Anuki Pereira.
Imagine yourself in Sigmund Freud. You have listened to everybody's desires. When I was young, I had the habit of being overly friendly. I wanted everybody around me to feel comfortable and treat me as if I were their best friend. I had a series of best friends. I named them best friend number 1 all the way to best friend number 15. Understand? Ladies and gentlemen, back in the 12th grade, I was in the middle of my girls' part, entertaining them with my jokes, and all of a sudden, my 5th best friend came up to me. My dear 5th favorite friend, tell me, what is it that you desire? Anuki, can we skip the class tomorrow and go meet my boyfriend? There were several thoughts in my head. Why should I go and meet her boyfriend? Isn't he already dated? Am I tagging along their date? Either way, I did exactly like she said. While they were having a nice chat on the bench, I was there counting the vehicles that passed by. For the record, it was 125. I came home tired and spent. When I was about to go to sleep, I heard my mother say, Anuki must be very tired today. She had the class for the whole day. If only she knew what kind of class I had. I felt guilty. Weeks passed by, she broke up with her boyfriend, and for no reason at all, she stopped being my friend and said that I was bad. I decided to go to my closest confidant, my sister. She advised me, Anuki, now this was a good experience. Learn from it and move on. Since experiences will make a better me, after my A-levels, I decided to go for a part-time job. There, I met Amanda. The first 2 days I observed Amanda was a very silent girl. I told her everything and anything. Days passed by, I started to hear some stories. Now, there was this girl and another girl who went out to meet their boyfriend. Wait, that's my story. That's when I realized that Amanda was a walking, talking writer. I came into my sister. Again, my sister advised me. Anuki, now this was a good experience. Learn from it and move on.
From then on, I decided to focus more on myself. Then I met Hassan at the university. Hassan was a beautiful boy. He had curvy eyelashes, two dimples on each cheek, and above all, he was a fourth year. One day, me and my friends, we were at the food court, and my friend went, "Hey, Anuki, that fourth year staring at you again. I think he likes you." Hassan decided to approach me. "Hi, I'm Hassan. You're first year, right?" From that day onwards, we met daily at the food court. He wished me well for my exams and always stared at me when I wasn't looking. One day, Hassan told me that he had trouble writing his research. Immediately, I wanted help. One research became two reports, and two reports became a dissertation. I thought Hassan wanted to spend more time with me. After the dissertation, Hassan went out with the prettiest, smartest senior girl. I confronted him about it. What he told me left me speechless. You were the one who had hopes and expected more. One more thing. You don't have to check up on me daily. I wanted to stay strong. I went to my strong pillar. This time, my sister was furious. I have told you many times, and yet you repeat the same mistakes over and over again. You're thinking, why do you make these silly choices? Experience has taught you nothing. Learn how to evaluate your choices. That's when I realized that experiences aren't everything. Experience isn't the best teacher. Evaluated experiences. I already assumed many things. When all of the things that happened, I thought that I can learn and take this experience. When I could have been a good friend, a good girlfriend, and a good employee by just thinking about my experiences. Ladies and gentlemen, experience isn't the best teacher. Evaluate experiences. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now maintain a 1 minute of silence for the judges to make their judgments. Contestant number 9, you can check the microphone. Check. 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 Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 9. Samudita Vinaraga. When part matches, this is matter. When part matches, this is matter. Samudita Vinaraga.
Close your eyes and imagine. Think just your thought. Can you imagine letting it go? Ladies and my future. And just come home with me today, with you in my house. You will see 4 chairs, just like this one, and a small table. This was all my dad got from my grandpa, who did like my father's parents. There was also a rusty old motorcycle with a watch that my mom got from her family. But this motorcycle, we loved it so much. My dad, he took me around it when I was small. Wind from the battlefield gushing through my face as we rode past the great banyan trees at the edge of the village. I remember it. Even though my dad loved the good cycle, he wanted to upgrade to something better. He wanted to buy a motorcycle. Anurag, we somehow have to buy a motorcycle. I can take you to the fair on it. Kids to the classroom. That's what my dad used to tell my mom when he was sitting next to her when she was cooking the dinner. That's a good idea, Shamantha. But do we have a better money? Raise your hand if you think your dad is the most talented person. My dad was the most talented person. He was good at anything. Painting, repairing, gardening, wiring, any job, you name it. He loved motorcycles so much that he got an old motorcycle for his friend. And then he repaired it. The day he started working, he asked me to sit on the front. And we rode so fast, so fast. Across the town, past that church when the church bell was ringing for Sunday Mass. One day, me, my father, and my sister, we went to the town on our bike. I was sandwiched with my father and my sister, and suddenly, my leg started hurting. I screamed so loud, so loud. My dad, he stopped the bike, and my leg was stuck between the spokes of the tire. It was bleeding, it was horrifying, blood everywhere. My dad, he took me to the emergency room right away. With time, my foot, it got better. But my father, he didn't. The most passionate man I know in my life is my father. He saved money little by little, and at the end, guess what? He bought a new motorcycle himself. The day he got it, he was happier than Aladdin when he got his lamp. One day, me and my father, we went to the Ram. We all past great buildings, and we sat on the bike in the beach, and we watched the sun setting, sinking in the sea, and the waves were washing past it. And we were eating Istovadi, prawns vadi. We were so happy. I was so happy. My father was so happy. Until that one day, that was the level first question. I asked him a very different question. For those who do not know, in triple jump, you jump twice. First, you hop, then you skate, and then you jump. I became running so fast. And I hopped, I stepped, but I didn't jump. The pole went around me, just knocked down. When I woke up, there was a fan turned over my head, and the nurse had to call me that I went to an emergency surgery. Few days later, I came home. There was something missing on the watch. And the next day, I was sitting on this chair and I asked my dad to come. He came to me and I asked, Dad, where is Watson? My dad, he didn't say a word. He crouched beside me and took my hands by his big hands and he stared at me. Half smiling on his face. I realized what I said. My dad, he has sold a motorcycle to pay my hospital bill. But, but Dad, that's all you had. The most significant man in the world was my father. That day, when he said, what mattered didn't matter to me. I mattered the most. How many of you have that mother who left her work because you were born? How many of you have that dad who buys you new clothes but wear the same shirt to work every day? Contestant, how many sacrifices do you think your family has done for you in your life? For you, when the time comes, you might not like to get go on. That is to you. But always remember there are people who will let go what they have when you matters most to them. Over to you. Check the camera and really listen on the tape. You will take a microphone. Yes, ma'am. Yes, good. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 2, Lakshan is our life. The doomsday. The doomsday, Lakshan is our life. 3 years ago, I had questions on my life. But then, I started making decisions and choices. Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been a duty to someone? I have. Once, I had around the space of home. This was not when I was in grade 1, 2, or even 5. I had drawn this face when I was in my A levels. And my mother loved that face. Oh, how cute, she said. But for me, I look like an egg. So I decided I'm gonna learn sex here. It took me about 3 months to lose all my extra weight.
But this time has to be the mere man on the face and all the cuteness. So now people start judging me. First up, my favorite judge, my mother. She always makes the loudest comments. You're beginning to look more like a coconut block. And then there was a tuk-tuk driver. He asked me, someone have a few. I went to I have tasted a beer my whole life. But this man was fearlessly implying that I was into smoking. No, I did not look like an angel, but smoking? Is that how you picture me? Did I trade my cuteness to look like a coconut mother and a smoker? Later, when I entered university, I wanted to join a sport. I was not the sport guy in my school days. This time, I felt like I could really do this. So I chose the most physically demanding sport I could think of, rowing. We had over 10 practice sessions a week in the season. And the season, no one knew when it started or ended, so it went on forever. Now my friends started asking me, are you doing the degree full time or part time? Well, part of my day was strictly for practices. And I was partly awake in lectures. And I was very keen to sleep 9 hours to recover from tired workouts. So they did have a one. Although I was trying my best to do justice to my decision, my performance in rowing was not up to the mark. So again I had to bear up with judges. This time I was asked if I was tall and big enough for rowing. We talked about bigger rows, big, half big. And then there is me, 5 foot 5.5 inches tall. When I'm in my shoes. It seemed I had made a mistake in choosing this sport. But I forgot to tell you about the sweetest things. I met a girl, smart, brave, tiny, and short too. My sweet, sweet Rose. Let's call her so. And the day came that I could no longer keep things in. She was going on and on as usual. I was looking into her eyes, so beautiful. I said, Rose, I love you. And then she laughed. When she finally stopped, she said, you're younger than me, stay in your limit. Besides, I want a 6-foot guy. Huh. I thought numbers did not matter in love. But apparently, in my case, numbers were all that mattered. Now, I have been through judgments before, but this time it was so unfair. I thought you'd make the perfect couple. Well, I was wrong. And ridiculous. That's it. This is the 3rd time I put myself in an awkward situation. Not once, not twice, twice. I pointed my finger at myself. My decisions, my choices messed up my life. Have you ever accused yourself inside your head? If you have, you know that there is no place in this world you can hide it. So came a doomsday. A final judgment was to be made. I was the prosecutor, the culprit, the lawyer, and the judge. And it went like this. Too many people in my life do not want this like me. My mother took the prize. I know I was saved. And my mother, she didn't see my face. But I think it's cool. Besides, I do not want to look like an ape forever. Mother, I'm sorry. But please understand. And then my friends, they did have a point. I didn't do my studies done. I will come back, but I did not stop wrong. my special challenge. And Ross? Tough luck, brother. Let's pick another Ross. Now that was me as my lawyer inside my head, defending myself and gave me you there. So I, as the judge, released me, the culprit, from all these charges. My honorable judicators in the audience, we have unique journeys of life. We have various reasons to make the decisions and choices we make. Believe me, there will be judges in your life, like the tuk-tuk driver. Don't know about that. And judges who love and care about you so much, like my mother cares about me. Speak to them. Tell them about your dreams. Prove yourself. Eventually, they will always understand. And then, the judges who actually make a point. Listen to them. Reflect on your actions. And finally, judges who are not there. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself, life is not always fair. But my honorable judicators said none of these judges decide how you move forward in life. Always let the best judge make that final decision. And the best judge, ladies and gentlemen, lives within your head. Yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. With that, we mark the conclusion of the prepared speech sessions. And now we will have 2 minutes of silence for the judges' remarks and carry their balance.
Test 1, test 2, test 3.
That's fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 1. Rusna firstly. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Rusna firstly.
Dear contest chair, respected panel of judges, and my dear sisters and brothers in the house, love and passion is something you would feel only if you or someone dear to you feel that. In that way, the word love, what does that mean? Love does not mean only having with your spouse or life partner. Love is something you can have with your parents, your siblings, your friends, even with your small nephews and nieces that they are at home. So, can you recall these kind of loves? Love does not mean you're restricting them from something, achieving something. For me, love word is so much giving freedom and giving them the peaceful world they deserve. If you truly love someone, let them feel the freedom. Let them feel their own rights. Don't abuse it. Give them the fullest thing. Because my parents were very good at parenting. They were very smart. They never forced me on anything. My choices were the last. For my life, I was the one who chose it. But for all my decisions I took, they were behind me, backing up with unconditional love. So that taught me one thing in life. Actions speak louder than words. That actions spoke so loud of their love. Over to you.
Now we we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the tally ballots. Contestant number 2, you may check the mic now.
Test 1, 2, 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 2. Ushan Vitarana. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Ushan Vitarana.
Take your right hand, just smile and shake it. Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, I learned this lesson all the way back when I was small, cute, innocent boy, only 10 years old. That was an amazing day. Sun was shining brightly thanks to a dawn red, blue and orange. The crowd cheered as athletes ran with all their strength. Inter-house sports meet 2004. Back in days, I was an excellent runner. I can beat anyone except Nirmal Vijay Singh. He was the fastest, strongest, and the most athletic person in our school. But that day, I was going to beat him. I was going to beat him. I practiced days and night. 3rd of March 2004. I took my mark, set, ready. I ran with all my strength and then some more. My eyes were locked on Nirmal. Second by second, I saw him fall back, and the next moment, ladies and gentlemen, I passed him. I was going to win this. I was going to win this. I was. In that moment, I was all alone. I was on the ground. Then I saw Nirmal Vijay Singh. He took his right hand, just smiled, shook my hand, and helped me out. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, these 3 simple actions can change your life. So, let's try this now. Take your right hand, just smile, honest gesture.
Now we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 3, you may check the mic now.
Test 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 3, Madhushika Munasingh. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Madhushika Munasingh.
Actions speak louder than words. Kotasha, does it really? Few days ago, when I was browsing through Facebook, I saw a post by a therapist. He has shared his experience. One of his clients have called him in the midnight, telling that she is going to suicide. And the therapist has spent 3 hours giving her various reasons why she should not suicide. And after 3 hours, she just said, okay, I will see and tell you later. And the next day, she has just called and said, okay, I decided not to suicide. But not at that moment. After 6 months, the therapist has asked the client, that day, I told you many reasons. Among them, what made you decide not to suicide? The lady said, none of them. The therapist was surprised. Then, why did you decide not to suicide? She said, because after that 3 hours, I realized in this whole world there was someone who was willing to listen to me for 3 hours. And your words, not the reasons, but your words, made me feel I am not alone in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we cannot take actions, but we can use our words. Even if you are in a position that you can do nothing, don't forget the words worth it. Over to you, Contestia.
Now we may have a period of 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 4, you may check the microphone now.
Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 4, Chayoda Disanaik. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Chayoda Disanaik.
I love you. I'm pretty sure most of you have heard this phrase at least once in your lifetime. Contest chair, distinguished judges, ladies and gentlemen, I love you. I have been told I love you by many people in my life. My friends, my family, my boyfriends, ex-boyfriends. Well, yeah, the list goes on. But when I think about it, there's one person in my life who hasn't said I love you at least once in my lifetime. And that is my father. But my father is not a very talkative person. He might not have said I love you to me personally, but I see him doing so much for us. One day, me and my sister was talking about making a pizza and thinking, oh my god, these ingredients are so expensive, we are not going to be able to make it. But my father passed by us and he heard us talking about this. And that night, he brought all the ingredients that we needed to make our pizza. That really touched my heart. He may have not said I love you, but his actions really spoke out more than his words. So sometimes in life, you might not get people to tell you how much they love you or how much they mean to you. But sometimes, look closer, you might see their actions speak louder than words. Over to you.
Now we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 5, you may check the microphone now.
Testing 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 5, Diniti Disanayaka. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Diniti Disanayaka.
What is the point of doing an MBA when you're 42 years old? You just only have 10 more years to work. Honorable panel of judges, contest chair, ladies and gentlemen, that was the most frequent question asked from my father by his relatives and his friends when he just suddenly decided to enroll for an MBA program when he was 42 years old. I could remember that his batchmates were so younger than him. They were only about 5 or 6 years older than me. But after doing the MBA, my father got a promotion and he even got the courage to leave down his permanent job and start a firm of his own. Then, soon after I finished my A-levels, my father asked me to do SEMA. I was nagging around him. I just finished a big exam and why are you asking me to study again? Then he said, I know what it is to be educated. I proved you by doing an MBA when my learning curve was very low and when my memory didn't even function good. So I am giving you the opportunity to do SEMA so that you can perform well than me. That is how my father proved that action is better than words. So if you want to prove something, prove it with action. Over to you.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 6, you may check the microphone now.
Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 6, Dulmi Fonseca. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Dulmi Fonseca.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were almost going to be punished by the principal? Dear contest chair, ladies and gentlemen, it happened to me when I was in grade 12. Our teacher was absent for the day and we had 2 free periods. And do you know what we did? Well, we were not interested in doing the work we were assigned to. A few girls got together and started playing cricket by using a crumpled paper ball and a water bottle. After some time, the whole class joined in the fun and our voices got louder and the noise reached the principal. And suddenly a girl came running into the class saying that the principal madam is coming, and we quickly settled down. We threw the paper ball out and we opened our books and pretended that we were studying and working hard making math sums and doing discussions. So when the principal madam came, we all stood and she asked, "What do you have now?" And we said we have maths and the teacher was absent. She said, "Okay, carry on." Then she went to the next room and blamed them because she thought that they were the ones who made the noise. So my dear ladies and gentlemen, action speaks louder than words because in the end, it's what you show that matters. Over to you.
Now we may have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Ready? Contestant number 7, you may check the microphone now.
Check 1, check 2, check 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 7, Dinesh Sundarlingam. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Dinesh Sundarlingam.
Take 1. I'm scared now. I feel like going to the washroom. Take 2. I'm extremely scared. I really feel like going to the washroom. Please. Contestant, my dear fellow participants, you can get the whole point now. In the first try, though I said the same exact thing, did you get what I actually tried to say? No. In the second try, even without, if you even ignore every single word I say, you would have got the picture. The heart pumping inside my heart, right? You will obviously get that. Let me tell you an incident. My mother's sister, she taught in Jaffna and she went to USA and became a professor there. There, every single other professor said not to scare the children, because as typical Sri Lankans, our teachers' mentality is giving that attitude, that anger, that fire into the students so that they can study more. So in America, this style is not followed. So they said not to show anger. So she tried really hard. When someone's given a question and when they make a small mistake, she would be like, like that. Okay? So in this day, the first year went and she was given the best teacher award. And that the reason, it's not the words she said, but that's the one that made the students understand it is the action is the critical point, the most important point that goes into our hearts. So, to sum up, I would say, when you are having a cake, the base cake is the actions. The cream is the words. So, to have the most valuable one is the cake. Over to you.
Now we may have 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark their ballots. Contestant number 8, you may check the mic now.
Test 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 8, Anuki Pereira. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Anuki Pereira.
Back in 2018, I had my first year project. I was really prepared, or so I thought. We had to make a model and a prototype and a presentation. I thought I can get away with everything by just speaking. So what I did was I made a PowerPoint presentation. I went in front of the panel of judges. I saw my batchmates were furiously writing, getting ready, and they were nervous. I was there, calm and quiet. I came in front and I started to give my presentation. But I missed a teeny tiny little knowledge that lecturers can see right through you. I just made a presentation. There were no prototypes or a model to show that I had worked. My lecturers were disappointed. I clearly thought that I can get away by just speaking. That day, I realized that actions do speak louder than words. If I had been prepared and used my special talents to make a prototype at the given criteria, I wouldn't have made the lecturers feel disappointed in me. Ladies and gentlemen, actions do speak louder than words. Over to you.
Now we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 9, you may check the microphone now.
Check. Check.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 9, Chamudita Benaragama. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Chamudita Benaragama.
Contestant, do you think I'm pretty? I used to be the prettiest boy in my class. Back then, I didn't have this talent. I wanted to start a relationship with a girl. I was attracted to her. So I went to her and I asked her out. Hi, would you be my girlfriend? She said no. I went again. Hey, you may want to reconsider. She said no. Again, I went and asked her out for the third time. And this time she said yes. But I was not attracted to her anymore. I went through a lot of rejection. I thought she's not for me. What happened was not good. I started ignoring her text. I didn't answer to her calls, but I just pretended to be her boyfriend. I wanted to break up with her. That day, at night, I texted her, hey, I want to break up with you. She was devastated. She cried through her phone. I couldn't help. But the next day, I decided to do it right. I took her to a nice restaurant and I ordered her favorite meal. And then I took her to the beach. And then I told her that if I stay with you, you will be suffering because I'm not attracted to her. Guess what? She took it well. Maybe just a word wouldn't mean a lot, but when you do it properly with actions, they get it. Over to you.
Now we may have a 1 minute of silence for the judges to mark the ballots. Contestant number 10, you may check the microphone now.
Testing 1, testing 2, testing 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, contestant number 10, Lakshan Disanayak. Action speaks louder than words. Action speaks louder than words. Lakshan Disanayak.
It was a triangular cricket match. Only 3 players played the match. My brother, my sister, and myself. My brother was the batsman, and my sister, she had the ball. And I, 7-year-old me, was the wicket keeper. Contestant, ladies and gentlemen, my sister came slowly running towards the crease. And then she swung her arm round and round, round and round, and she went on. Now my brother and I had no idea when the ball was going to be released. After she was tired of swinging her arm, she finally released it, and the ball came in the speed of a rocket over the batsman's head and towards me, the 7-year-old wicket-keeper. At that age, ladies and gentlemen, I did not know that it was so complicated catching a ball. I did not understand the physics behind it. So I was like this, and it missed my hands and hit me in my special area. I was like this and fell down. But I did not speak a single word. Now, one thing about my sister, she never apologizes. But this time, she came running towards me. Molly, what happened to you? Now, I still did not speak a word, but she was tensed for life. She was begging for mercy from me. Don't tell mother, please. I did not tell mother, but I understood one thing. Actions speak louder than words. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now maintain 2 minutes of silence for the judges to mark and tally their ballots.
It's the first step that matters.
Working in such a big company is a rare opportunity to improve and focus on personal growth while in the meantime adding value to the company. All you have to do is give yourself to the benefit of the doubt and take a chance.
The very first challenge. It's a process. You are the work in progress. Every opportunity is a part of your learning curve. Your first lesson will always be memorable. When you learn, you take the experience forward. It takes hard work and teaches you strategy. You build yourself along the way. The transformation is breathtaking.
Unilever taught me how to impact the society in a very positive way. Always with definite action, with a goal of positive impact.
So take your best shot, but be precise on where you want to go. Focus, determination, purposefulness, and teamwork. An arena of success stories. It's the first step that matters.
Working in such a big company is a rare opportunity to improve and focus on personal growth while in the meantime adding value to the company. All you have to do is give yourself to the benefit of the doubt and take a chance.
The very first challenge. It's a process. You are the work in progress. Every opportunity is a part of your learning curve. Your first lesson will always be memorable. When you learn, you take the experience forward. It takes hard work and teaches you strategy. You build yourself along the way. The transformation is breathtaking.
Unilever taught me how to impact the society in a very positive way. Always with definite action, with a goal of positive impact.
So take your best shot, but be precise on where you want to go. Focus, determination, purposefulness, and teamwork. An arena of success stories. It's the first step that matters.
Working in such a big company is a rare opportunity to improve and focus on personal growth while in the meantime adding value to the company. All you have to do is give yourself to the benefit of